Mama Cat opens a donut shop to fulfill Kitten's dream of becoming a pilot. In a little village where the cobblestones were warmed by the sun and the chimneys puffed gentle clouds into the air, lived a mother and her son. She was Mama Cat, her fur a lush, beautiful tapestry of creamy orange and snowy white, with wise, emerald green eyes that held the warmth of 1,000 sunbeams. Her son was Whiskers, a tiny kitten whose fur was a splash of dappled ginger and the purest white, with bright, curious eyes the color of sapphires, always looking upward. Our story begins on their favorite spot, the rusty, sun-drenched roof of their cozy wooden home. Below them, the world was quiet, but above, it was a grand spectacle. The sky was painted in hues of orange and purple, and cutting through it was a silver airplane, leaving a fluffy white trail in its wake. Whiskers' voice small, full of wonder. "Mama, where do you think they're going?" "All the way up there." Mama Cat nuzzling him, her voice a soft purr. "To the edges of the world, my little one. To places where the clouds are pillows and the stars are landing lights." Narration. And in that moment, a dream took root in Whiskers' heart. It wasn't just a passing fancy. It was a deep, burning desire. He didn't just want to watch the planes. He wanted to command one, to feel the wind beneath his wings. We see Whiskers the next day, a determined little ginger-and white spot in the garden, trying to build an airplane from twigs and a large, floppy leaf. It collapses in a heap. His little shoulders slump. Later, he presses his nose against a shop window, his sapphire eyes wide, fixed on a magnificent Toya red and white Dreamflyer model airplane. The price tag is a number he can't even comprehend. Narration. Mama Cat watched from the doorway, her heart aching. She saw the shimmer of a tear he bravely tried to hide. She saw the vast distance between his dream and their simple life. That night, as Whiskers slept, curled into a small ginger ball, she made a promise. A mother's promise. She looked at her own paws that could knead dough to perfection, paws that could create magic in their tiny kitchen. Her famous sunrise donuts, filled with fish jelly, were the talk of the alley. Narration voice gains determination. "If I cannot give him the sky," she whispered to the moon, "I will give him the runway." And so, the great project began. The little shed behind their house was transformed. Mama Cat, with her beautiful orange and white fur, often dusted in flour, worked tirelessly. There were comical failures, donuts shaped like sausages, glaze that hardened like rock. But she persisted. Whiskers, his spirit lifted by her mission, helped by painting a lopsided sign with wobbly letters, "Sky-high donuts." The grand opening was a quiet affair, but the scent of warm, sugary dough and fried fish was a siren's call. First came a skeptical badger, his fur striped in gruff black and white, then a family of chirping sparrows. Mama Cat greeted each one with a kind word and a free sample. The badger was won over by a donut sprinkled with crushed walnuts. The sparrows adored the mini cloud bites. Narration. The donut shop became more than a business. It became the soul of the neighborhood. The skeptical badger, Mr. Grumblepaws, became their most loyal customer and nighttime guardian. Each coin that dropped into the old fishbowl was not just payment, it was a brick in the foundation of Whiskers' dream. But the path to a dream is never smooth. Winter came, fierce and unforgiving. A blanket of white snow covered the village, and the stream of customers slowed to a trickle. One evening, Mama Cat sat by the dying embers of the oven, exhaustion etched on her face. The fishbowl was barely a quarter full. Whiskers approached, his little blue eyes filled with a sadness too old for a kitten. He nestled against her warm, creamy orange fur. Whiskers' voice trembling. "Mama, maybe it's too big a dream. You're too tired. We can stop." Mama Cat looked down at him, her emerald eyes blazing with a fierce, unconditional love. She lifted his chin with a soft paw. Mama Cat firmly, lovingly, "Listen to me, my pilot. No dream is too big. and no mother is ever too tired to build a ladder to the stars for her child. The next morning, a miracle happened. Mr. Grumblepaws the badger had spread the word. A line of animals, led by the chattering sparrows, stretched from the door of sky-high doughnuts all the way down the snowy path. Squirrels, rabbits, a friendly Dural had come to help. They didn't just buy donuts, they brought savings, they helped clean, they stacked firewood. The community Mama Cat had nourished was now nourishing her dream in return. The fishbowl overflowed. The day of the air show dawned bright and clear. The whole neighborhood walked with them to the bustling fairgrounds. There, in a shiny booth, sat the magnificent red and white Dream Flyer. Whiskers held his mother's paw tightly. With a proud, trembling smile, Mama Cat poured the heavy fishbowl, brimming with coins and hope, onto the counter. The vendor, an old, wise-looking hound dog, smiled gently. He handed the glorious airplane to his narration, and when Whiskers' small white and ginger paws closed around the toy, it was more than plastic and paint. It was his mother's sleepless nights, her flower-dusted fur, her unwavering faith. It was the kindness of a whole community. He ran into the open field, the Dream Flyer held high. As he ran, in his mind, he wasn't on the ground, he was in the cockpit, soaring. He banked over the sky-high doughnuts, seeing all his friends waving. He flew past his and Mama Cat's rooftop, diving through the clouds she had once pointed to, Whiskers shouting with pure, unbridled joy. "I'm flying, Mama, look. I'm really flying." Narration voice thick with emotion, and he was, not on wings of metal, but on wings woven from sacrifice, community, and a mother's love. He had learned that the greatest journeys began with a single, brave stepper, in his mother's case, with a single, perfectly made donut. That evening, they were back on their rooftop. The little red and white airplane sat between them. The first stars began to twinkle. Whiskers, sleepy and content, curled into the safe, warm haven of his mother's soft orange and white fur. Whiskers murmuring, half asleep, "Thank you for my wings, Mama." Mama Cat looked down at him, her emerald eyes reflecting the starlight, and let out a deep, contented purr that rumbled like a gentle engine. Mama Cat whispering, "For you, my little pilot, I would learn to fly myself." Final words. As music swells and fades, and the sky-high doughnuts remained open, not to gather coins for a dream, but to serve as a sweet reminder that even the loftiest of dreams can be built from the ground up, one loving paw at a time.